You know that feeling when you wake up and the alarm is going off and your body just feels like lead?
Yeah, like you are pinned to the mattress.
Exactly. And no matter how many hours you slept, it does not feel like enough. You drag yourself out of bed and you're doing everything right. You
Mm.
know, you eat a decent meal, you drink your water.
You might even force yourself to take a walk or do
Yeah.
some stretching.
Right. But there's this deep, quiet heaviness. And I think so many people, um, especially women, they hit this point where they just think, well, this is just how it is. This is just modern life. I'm just tired.
It is so common. We just absorb it. We tell ourselves it is just a stressful week at work, or we are not managing our time well enough. We almost feel guilty for being so drained.
Yeah, the guilt is huge.
Yeah.
And it feels like your body is flashing a warning light, like the check engine light on your car dashboard is just blinking red.
That is a perfect way to look at it, because what do we normally do when that light comes on? We do not look under the hood.
No, we just grab a coffee.
Right. We grab a coffee, we put a piece of tape over the warning light, we just try to push through the day with willpower.
And when it comes to the body, and specifically the menstrual cycle, it is wild how much we just ignore. We are taught to just, you know, deal with the heavy bleeding and the deep pain.
We really are. We are told from a very young age that cycles are just supposed to be painful, that feeling awful is just part of the deal. So you end up with millions of people just suffering in silence.
Just putting tape over the light.
Exactly. And taking pain pills just to get through a work shift, never really asking why the alarm is sounding in the first place.
So today, we are going to look under the hood. We're going to explore what is really going on when the body has these super heavy draining cycles. Because it is not just bad luck.
No, it is not. It is a sign. It is your body asking for help.
I want to talk about how this feels for people living with it. Because a heavy cycle is not just an issue for a few days a month. The signs, they kind of stretch across your whole life.
They ripple out. They really do. It is not just the physical bleeding, which can be so heavy that you have to use double protection just to feel safe leaving your house.
Which is stressful all on its own.
Extremely stressful. You are setting an alarm at 2 in the morning just to change your clothes. Your sleep is completely broken. But then you have these hidden signs that linger all month long.
Like the brain fog.
Yes, the heavy brain fog. Finding it hard to focus on a simple email. Or you are taking a shower and you notice your hair is just coming out in your hands more than usual.
Oh, that is so scary when that happens. You automatically think the worst.
Right. Or you walk up a single flight of stairs in your home and you are totally out of breath and your heart is racing.
And you just think, wow, I am really out of shape.
Exactly. But it is not that. It is your iron levels.
Right.
When you have chronic heavy bleeding, your body is losing iron every single month. Slowly, quietly, your deep iron stores just empty out.
Like a slow leak in a tire.
That is it. A slow leak. And iron is what carries oxygen to your brain and your muscles. Without it, your heart has to work so much harder just to pump basic oxygen around. That is why you feel so out of breath.
But because we live in this busy world, we just blame it on burnout. I read this story about a woman, just a regular person with a busy job. Over a year or so, her cycle got longer and much heavier, and she was just tired to her bones.
And what did she blame it on?
Work? She blamed it on her emails. She thought she was just failing at managing her stress. She told herself she just needed to try harder.
It breaks your heart a little, right? Because we are so conditioned to think our lifestyle is the problem, rather than looking at our basic body signals. We treat the cycle like a burden, not like a vital sign.
It is a vital sign. That is such a good way to frame it.
It really is. It tells you so much about your overall wellness. When this woman finally got checked, her deep iron stores were almost totally gone. Her thyroid was very sluggish, and she had a small physical block in her womb.
None of which you can fix by just, taking a weekend off or trying to relax more.
Right. You cannot sleep your way out of an iron crash. You have to rebuild the body from the ground up.
So let us talk about the actual mechanics. How does the body get into this state? Because the cycle is, it is supposed to be this balanced thing.
It is a very elegant balance when it works well. Think of it like a seesaw. You have two main hormones that run the show. On one side, you have estrogen.
Right, the builder.
Yes, estrogen is the builder. Its job is to grow the soft lining of the womb every month, to make it thick and rich with blood. On the other side of the seesaw, you have progesterone.
And progesterone is like the manager.
Exactly. It is the steady manager. Its job is to step in and say, okay, that is enough growth. We have built enough. Let us stabilize everything and prepare to shed it cleanly if we need to.
It is like laying down carpet in a house.
I love that image.
Yeah, so estrogen is this super eager worker rolling out thick new carpet, just layer after layer. And progesterone is the boss who is supposed to say, okay, stop. We have enough carpet on the floor.
But what happens if the boss never shows up to work?
Right. The eager worker just keeps going. And by the end of the month, you have this massive, thick pile of heavy carpet that has to be torn out of the house.
And tearing out all that extra carpet takes a lot of effort. The body has to work so hard to clear it. That is what causes the heavy flow and the deep, painful cramping. The seesaw is stuck. The builder has taken over.
So what causes the seesaw to get stuck? Because it does not just happen out of nowhere. There has to be a root cause.
There are a few main root causes, and they kind of fall into two buckets. You have physical blocks in the body, and then you have chemical imbalances.
Let us start with the physical blocks, because this is something I think a lot of people do not even know to look for.
The most common physical block is fibroids. These are just firm little muscle knots that grow in or around the womb. They are very, very common. Most women will have them by the time they are in their 40s or 50s.
But the wild thing is, it is not about how big they are.
Yeah.
Right? It is all about where they grow.
That is the key. You could have a fibroid the size of a grapefruit on the outside of the womb and you might not even feel it. But if you have one the size of a tiny marble right on the inside lining.
It acts like a rock in a shoe.
Yes. It sits right where the bleeding happens. It acts like a wedge. So when the body tries to squeeze down to stop the blood flow at the end of the cycle, the muscle cannot close properly around that little knot. The vessels just stay open and bleed.
That makes so much sense. And there's another physical block too, right? Where the lining actually grows backward into the muscle.
Yes. That is a condition where the soft lining tissue forces its way into the firm muscle wall of the womb. It gets trapped in there.
That sounds so painful.
It is deeply painful because the muscle gets thick and swollen. It gets angry and inflamed. So again, when it needs to smoothly squeeze to stop the monthly bleeding, it cannot. It is too swollen to work right.
And people often get told that is just normal cramps.
All the time. They are told to take a hot bath and take some pain pills. But the actual muscle structure is swollen. It needs a different kind of support.
So those are the physical blocks. The marble acting like a wedge and the swollen muscle wall. But what if the physical structure is totally fine? What if the womb looks perfect on a scan, but the heavy bleeding is still happening?
Then you have to look at the chemical side of the seesaw. You have to look at why that estrogen builder is working over time.
And this leads us to the liver, right? Which is wild to me. We're talking about periods, and suddenly we need to talk about the liver.
The body is entirely connected. The liver is your master filter. When estrogen has done its job, it is the liver's job to break it down, package it up, and sweep it out of the body through the gut.
Like taking out the trash.
Exactly. But if your liver is sluggish, or if it is busy dealing with other things like too much sugar or poor gut health or outside toxins, it cannot clear the old estrogen out fast enough.
So the trash just sits there.
It does worse than sit there. It goes right back into your bloodstream. So now you have your daily estrogen plus last week's estrogen all floating around.
Oh, wow. So the builder just gets extra energy to lay down more carpet.
You got it. The lining gets thicker and thicker, all because the liver could not sweep the old hormones out the door.
And it is not just the liver. There is also the blood itself. Some people just have a basic issue with how their blood clots.
Yes, there is a very common genetic trait where the blood simply lacks the glue to hold a clot together.
The glue.
Think of your blood platelets like tiny bricks trying to plug a leak. But bricks need mortar. They need sticky glue to hold them in place. Some people are just born with less of that glue, so the bricks just wash away and the bleeding keeps going.
And how often is that the case?
Studies suggest it could be up to 1 in 5 cases of heavy bleeding.
Wait, really? 1 in 5 people with heavy cycles might just be missing some blood glue? And they are just sitting at home thinking they are broken.
Yes, and if they go to a clinic, they are often just given a hormone patch to stop the cycle entirely. But that does not fix the missing glue in their blood. It just masks the warning light.
It's exactly what we were saying earlier. Tape over the dashboard light.
Exactly. It does not solve the root cause. And the 5th root cause we need to look at is the thyroid.
Right, the body's main engine.
Yes. If your thyroid is sluggish, your whole metabolic engine slows down. Your body heat drops, your energy drops, and your liver slows down too.
So a slow thyroid means a slow liver, which means the old estrogen builds up again. It is all a big circle.
A deeply connected circle. A sluggish thyroid also means the body makes less of those blood clotting factors we just talked about. So the blood stays thin, everything just compounds.
When you lay it all out like this, the womb structure, the liver filter, the blood glue, the thyroid engine, It makes you realize how complex and beautiful the body is.
Uh,
But it also makes you wonder, what can we actually do?
we can do a lot. We really can. We have so much agency over our daily habits.
Let us get into the daily actions, because
Yeah.
I do not want anyone listening to feel stuck or scared. We are just learning how to read the body. What is the first gentle step we can take to help the liver sweep out that old estrogen?
It starts with your plate. It is about giving your liver the basic raw materials it needs to work well. Dark green, crunchy veggies are amazing for this.
Like broccoli and cabbage?
Yes, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, they contain these special plant compounds that literally hand the liver a mop. They help the cells break down strong, harsh estrogen into a weak, safe form that is easy to flush away.
Handing the liver a mop. I love that. Just adding a side of roasted broccoli to your dinner can actually help your hormones.
It is simple, but it is real body wisdom. Another big lever is lowering inflammation. When the body is swollen and stressed, things like fibroids get more painful.
So how do we cool down the fire?
Omega-3s are wonderful for this. Foods like fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. They send quiet, calming signals to the body. They turn down the heat.
And what about magnesium? I feel like I hear about magnesium everywhere now.
Because we burn through it so fast, magnesium is like a deep breath for your muscles. You can get it from pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, or even dark chocolate.
Oh, I will always say yes to dark chocolate.
Right. But seriously, magnesium helps relax the smooth muscle of the womb. It eases those deep cramps, and it also helps support that missing manager, progesterone.
Okay, let us talk about that manager, because this brings up the topic of stress. And I know we hear manage your stress all the time, and it feels like such a useless phrase.
Because nobody tells you why stress matters, they just say it like it is a character flaw.
Yes, but there is a real chemical reason why stress ruins the cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about survival. If you are constantly rushing, constantly worried, not sleeping enough, your body thinks you are in danger. It thinks you are running from a threat.
So it goes into survival mode.
Exactly. And the body uses the exact same raw building blocks to make your stress hormone, cortisol, as it uses to make your calming manager, progesterone.
Oh, wow. So it has to choose.
Yes, it has to choose. And survival always wins. The body literally steals the building blocks away from your reproductive system to make more stress hormones. The progesterone manager never even gets built.
So the estrogen builder is left alone on the job site again. That is mind-blowing. Your stress is literally stealing your calming hormones.
It is just trying to keep you safe in a busy world. It is doing its best, but we have to show the body it is safe to rest.
Which brings up the outside world. This part really shocked me. We are trying to eat well, we are trying to rest, but then there are hidden signals around us.
You mean the plastics?
Yes,
Yeah.
the plastics.
Yeah.
How does heating up a quick lunch in a plastic box end up making a cycle heavier? It sounds like magic, but not the good kind.
It is not magic. It is just basic chemistry. Plastics are made with chemicals that make them bendy and tough, things like BPA.
Right, we see BPA-free on water bottles now.
Exactly. But here's the tricky part. The physical shape of those plastic chemicals is almost exactly the same as the shape of natural estrogen.
So they look like twins to the body.
Yes. Your cells have little locks on them waiting for the estrogen key to open them. When you heat food in a plastic box, those chemicals leak into your food. You eat them and they float through your blood.
And they fit right into the locks.
They fit perfectly. They turn the key. So your body gets this massive false signal that there is a huge flood of estrogen. The cells react just like they would to the real thing.
So the builder gets a false order to lay down a ton of extra carpet, just from a plastic lunchbox.
Especially if the food is hot or greasy, the heat breaks the plastic down faster. It is these tiny daily habits that confuse our natural body wisdom.
But the good news is we can change those habits.
Yeah.
Like, I heard about someone who just made small swaps. She didn't do a crazy diet or anything. She just moved her food into glass jars.
Glass or stainless steel, it is such an easy swap.
Yeah, she swapped the glass. She started eating more dark greens to get her iron and magnesium up. She made sure she was sleeping enough to lower her stress signals.
And what happened?
Over a few months, her cycle just calmed down. It got shorter. The heavy flow eased up. And the best part, her hair stopped falling out in the shower.
Because her iron stores were finally allowed to fill back up, her body wasn't constantly draining its savings account.
It is just gentle, daily choices, showing the body it is safe, giving it the mop, giving it the glue, cooling down the fire.
And part of giving it what it needs is knowing exactly what is missing, which brings us to how we track our own signs.
Yes. Because if you do need to talk to a doctor, you want to go in with a clear picture. You don't just want to say, I feel tired.
Because they hear, I feel tired 20 times a day, you have to be specific. Do not just track the dates on a calendar. Track how many products you use in a single hour.
Track the size of any clots, right?
Yes. Keep a simple log on your phone. Note your pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Note if you wake up sweating. Note your mood dips. When you have 2 or 3 months of this pattern written down, it becomes very clear evidence.
It changes from, I think something is wrong, to, here is exactly what my body is doing.
And then when you ask for blood tests, you have to know which ones to ask for. This is where so many people get stuck.
Because the standard iron test is not always enough, right?
Most of the time, a basic clinic will just check your hemoglobin. That is the active iron floating in your blood right now. Think of it like the cash in your wallet.
Okay, cash in the wallet.
If you have cash in your wallet today, the doctor says you are fine, but they did not check your deep savings account.
And the savings account is called ferritin.
Yes, serum ferritin. It is your deep iron reserve. When you bleed heavily, your body constantly pulls from the savings account to keep cash in the wallet.
So the wallet looks fine, but the bank is totally empty.
Exactly. You could have crushing brain fog, zero energy, and thinning hair because your ferritin is at rock bottom. But the standard test says you are normal. You must ask them to check your ferritin.
That is such a vital piece of advice. Ask for the deep savings check. And it is the same for the thyroid, too.
Do not just let them run the basic screening. Ask them to check your free T3 and free T4.
Yeah.
That shows how the active engine is really working in your cells.
It is just about gathering the right clues, becoming a gentle detective for your own health. And moving away from things that spike your blood sugar is part of that too, isn't it?
Yes, gentle movement. A slow walk after dinner, avoiding heavy, refined sugars. Because sugar spikes cause insulin spikes, which feeds right back into the estrogen overload. It is all connected.
It feels good to know this. It feels hopeful. It reminds us that our bodies are not broken. They are just responding to the world we put them in.
They're doing exactly what they're designed to do. They're adapting. We just have to change the signals we are sending them.
It really shifts the whole picture. For so long, we have just accepted that this kind of draining pain is a normal part of life. We put tape over the dashboard. We push through the fog.
But we do not have to.
We do not. And it makes you think about the bigger picture when you step back and look at how many people are dealing with this in silence. Millions and millions of women walking around with bankrupt iron stores.
Fighting through the deep fatigue every single day.
Right, just surviving. It makes you wonder, what would the world look like if we stopped normalizing this? What would happen if all that lost energy was suddenly freed up?
That is the most beautiful question. Think of the sheer human potential, the creativity, the focus, the joy. If millions of people got their deep energy back simply because we finally decided to look under the hood and heal the root cause.
It would be a totally different world, a much brighter, much more energetic world.
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Wellness Geeks has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same gentle way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to, say, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life. And it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, please support it with a super thanks. Every small bit of support keeps this channel going strong. Thank you so much for being here.